We're going to make a little different type of a croquette slash cakes, as in crab cakes. You know the crab cakes that you go eat sometimes that are horrible because they're full of breadcrumbs? Well, that's not what I make. We're going to use this heavy cream sauce that I made and use that as the binder. And we're going to make a salmon and shrimp croquette. The ingredients are 1 teaspoon of minced fresh garlic, 6 ounces of cooked salmon. It could be salmon that was sauteed, broiled, baked, whatever you want. It had to be cooked. And we're going to use the 26 to 30 size raw shrimps. I will cut them in half, and we will put these halves inside raw after the mix is finished. I'll show you. 1 ounce of shallots, which we have on the board. 1 teaspoon of fresh minced garlic. Later we're going to mix in 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And we're going to use panko breadcrumbs for breading only the outside of this croquette. No breadcrumbs will be inside. Or you can use fine yellow cornmeal, also works very well. 1 ounce of onion, and we have 1 tablespoon of butter. If you don't want to use butter, you can use a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to saute the items. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of sea salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper to this. And as we sweat up these vegetables, we don't want to give them any color. In another minute, we're going to take the piece of cooked salmon, add it to this, mash it in here. As soon as it's mashed up and hot, then I will add the thick cream sauce to it. And that's like step 1 is complete, which would be the most difficult part. Very nice. We don't want to have crunchy onions and shallots inside the croquette, so we make sure we cook this. That's just about done. At this point, we'll add 1 tablespoon of dry white wine to that. That always gives any kind of fish or seafood a nice little flavor. You know, a piece of salmon, after it's cooked and you try to reheat it and eat it, it's kind of dry. I'm going to make another recipe for cooked salmon. Very simple, just salmon salad, just exactly the way you would make tuna salad. Matter of fact, I mixed a couple of days ago. I took a can of tuna and made tuna salad, and then I added about equal amount of cooked salmon just like this to it. Mashed it up first, of course, added to it. Very nice flavor. I added 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley. You could also add a tablespoon of scallions in here if you'd like. And 1 tablespoon is plenty of the parsley. In about another minute, as soon as I mash this up well, I'm going to add the cream, which I will pre-measure so there's no question about how much thick cream sauce to add to this. I'm going to start off with 1/3 cup of this thick cream sauce that I've made. As you can see how heavy it is. This is the binding agent, whereas many people and places that you go to use breadcrumbs, which is really, when you're eating nothing but breadcrumbs, at least you have a cream sauce. This will bind it. And as I do this, if I need to add more, I will in a second, but this is 1/3 cup so far. Look how nice and thick that's getting. The next step of this, you're going to take this and just refrigerate it for a few hours. I will add 1/3 cup more. Now that should work just fine. So that's a total of 2/3 cup of the thick cream sauce, which is one of my other recipes. Used for this and for making like lasagna, because everybody makes lasagna that's always too wet. Not that you would use the cream sauce for the lasagna, but you would use a sauce with this thickness, whether it be seafood or whatever. Especially on the seafood area. That's fine. Look at that. Now, that's thick, and this is hot. So you know when it chills, it's going to be much thicker. And that'll take care of that at this point. Now we're going to refrigerate it until it's very, very cold. Just cover it in Saran wrap like this, and we'll put it in the refrigerator.